Radical D.C. officials treated officers like crap, police leader says, 7 attacks that led to Trump takeover. President Donald Trump on Monday moved to federalize policing in the nation's capital, following years of unchecked violent crime in Washington, D.C. The polarizing move has caused an uproar from opponents and celebrations from supporters who want to see an end to violence in the city. The move comes after Washington has garnered national attention with a string of high-profile incidents in recent months and years that precipitated Trump's move. However, not everyone agrees with Trump's new plan. Fox News contributor and former D.C. homicide detective Ted Williams is among those who oppose the federal intervention. While the president may mean well, this is going nowhere fast, he told Fox News Digital. D.C. is not a war zone. The lawsuits for constitutional violations are coming. This is overkill. He also said criminals will just wait out the federalization and return when National Guard troops are pulled from the streets. Joe and his boys are going on vacation and will return after this crazy experiment ends. National Fraternal Order of Police President Joe Grimaldi likes Trump's plan. Their average homicide rate has doubled in the last 10 years. They used to average less than 100 homicides. Now they average over 200, Grimaldi said, a claim which is backed up by the city's own data. And it's because you have a radical element on that city council that has defunded their police. They have embraced revolving door criminal justice policies. And frankly, they treated the hard-working men and women of law enforcement in that town like crap. So, of course, they need help. You have to do something, otherwise it's going to get out of control. Below is a list of some of the most notorious crimes the city has seen. In the early morning hours of August 3rd, an ex-Department of Government Efficiency DOJ staffer was beaten during an attempted carjacking in the city's Logan Circle neighborhood. Edward Coreystein, known as Big Balls, was confronted by a group of teens while out with his significant other. Police said he pushed the woman into his vehicle to protect her and bore the brunt of the wrath of the criminals. Nearby patrol officers intervened, and the attackers escaped on foot, but not before Coreystein was left bloodied. A 15-year-old male and a 15-year-old female have been arrested in connection with the crime. They face charges of unarmed carjacking. Eric Tarpinian-Jackham, 21, was shot June 30th on the 1200 block of 7th Street, Northwest. He died a day later. He was a student at the University of Massachusetts, Amherst, and was interning for Representative Ron Estes, Republican, Kansas. Several people exited a vehicle and began firing shots. The Metropolitan Police Department, MPD, said Tarpinian-Jackham was not the target of the shooting. A 16-year-old male and an adult female were shot, but both survived. The FBI is assisting MPD in the case's investigation. No suspects have been captured. On May 21st, 2 Israeli embassy staffers were shot and killed while leaving an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum. The victims were Yaron Lishchinsky, an Israeli, and Sarah Milgram, an American. Elias Rodriguez, 31, of Chicago, was captured immediately. He has been charged not only with the murders, but with federal hate crimes. He allegedly shouted, "Free, free Palestine," while in custody. On the night of May 17th, a mob of about 100 teenagers terrorized the Navy Yard neighborhood a block from Nationals Park. It was the second such teen takeover in less than a month. At about 8 p.m., police began receiving calls about disorderly conduct, but the situation quickly turned violent. One group of teens beat 2 bystanders, punching them, knocking them to the ground, and then stomping on them, according to. A similar fight broke out later. Fox News Digital obtained video of the incident. On May 9th, a staffer from California Democratic Representative Sarah Jacobs' office was the victim of an armed carjacking in the Navy Yard neighborhood. The staffer, who remained unnamed, was robbed of a government-issued iPhone, MacBook, ID, and Capitol parking pass. The next day, the car was recovered, and a 15-year-old juvenile male of Washington was charged with armed carjacking, and a 14-year-old juvenile male of Maryland was charged with carrying a pistol without a license and unauthorized use of a vehicle. In late 2023, Representative Henry Cuellar, Democrat, Texas, was carjacked by armed, masked men outside an apartment building that is a popular residence for members of Congress, also in the Navy Yard neighborhood. At the time, Cuellar said he made the conscious decision not to fight back for his own safety. He condemned the crime, calling the criminals punks with guns, and touched on soft-on-crime policies, noting that if criminals are put in jail, you've got to lock them up and keep them there. In February 2023, Representative Angie Craig, Democrat, Minnesota, was attacked in the elevator of her apartment in the nation's capital. Police identified 26-year-old Kendrick Hamlin as the suspect. Craig said Hamlin punched her in the chin and grabbed her by the neck. Craig said she fended him off with the hot cup of coffee she was carrying. Other recent violent crimes include the 2023 beating death of a homeless man with a metal pipe near the Ellipse in Washington's downtown, and a Metropolitan Area Transit Authority police officer who was stabbed in the face near the D.C. Navy Yard subway station. Fox News' Steven Soros, Adam Sabes, David Spunt, Charles Kraitz, Landon Mayen, and Sarah Rumpf-Witten contributed to this report.